a really impromptu, quick roundup of how to heal the root. Okay, all right. So following on from my video earlier, the visualization technique about embodying the power archetypes of the Emperor and Empress in the root, questions that I always get asked by the students and just people in groups and on pages is, how do you balance a chakra? You know, what technique works? Basically, how do I fix this? How do I heal this? And of course, that's what everybody wants to achieve, is that level of feeling whole and integrated. But there isn't just a quick solution to this. There isn't just a one size fits all. And the main thing to do is, when you want to heal any aspect of you, is to, if you think about when you cut your skin or break a bone, you know, we have to give it a nurturing, you know, we have to nurture ourselves on some level to allow that healing to naturally take place. So if you think about it, healing can naturally take place, but it's our belief systems, it's our thoughts, it's our emotions that get in the way of us naturally moving forward and healing. So when we experience something and it's an unresolved trauma, it gets stuck in a part of the brain that cannot process and rationalize. So it's just a stuck energy that's within our brain and neurological system. And the brain and nervous system obviously work together. This is what they call triggering. So we react to events that we see in our adult life from the place of the unhealed trauma, which could have happened when we were 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, who knows. So how to tune in and to heal a chakra. So we'll work on the root. So the root is at the base of your spine, kind of energy tethers you to the earth. It shoots out from in between the legs and end of the coccyx, if you like. So first of all, you have to kind of tune into that energy, get to know your chakra, research the chakras. I do a lot of work on the chakras. So this color is red. And it relates to your foundations, your early upbringing between 0 to 7. It's how you feel stable and secure in this life and how you meet that need healthily or unhealthily. So first of all, let's see what I wrote down. I did do a post, but it didn't send. So you need to bring awareness into this chakra, and you need to bring awareness into your root chakra story. So again, this is something that we do with the 7 steps. So think about the early conditioning that you've had, even when you were in utero, in the womb. So for me, I was in the womb of a young pregnant teenage mum who was carrying a lot of guilt and shame, who, you know, wasn't being accepted, who knew that I wasn't going to be accepted. So already her emotions are filtering into my development. So if you know your story about your mother's pregnancy, if you don't, go and find it, because it is part of the tapestry of who you are. Even right the way through to your birth. What was your birth like? How did you enter this world? You know, how was it for you? Was it traumatic? Were you taken away from mum, put in an incubator? You know, how was it for you? Because all of this has gone into your cellular and nervous system. And cells, water contains memory. So then think about your story from 0 to 7 and write it down, journal it out, thinking about the themes of family, environment, safety, security, and survival. Write out your story and then give your story a name, or give yourself or that character that you played a name. You know, it could be any name, it could be Charlie, or an archetype name such as the victim or the fool or something like that, something that really resonates with you. But give it a name, because it's an archetype. It's an energy that's played through you through that young age of the chakra. So what else have I put? Then I want you to observe, bring awareness. I've lost the plot because I've just been in training for the past 3 days, but bring awareness to how you've allowed that story, that energy, that archetype, whatever name you give it, say it's Charlie, to play out. Play out in your relationships, play out in your goal setting, play out in your goal achievement, play out in your success, play out in your trust, play out in security. Just think about all the ways that the archetype, whatever name you give it, has lived through you. Again, write the archetypal story. You can say, hi, my name is Charlie and I do XYZ for Anne-Marie or whatever. So now it's about rewriting the story. Write down all the needs, everything that this archetype needs, everything it desires, everything it does to get its needs met. You really want to tune into how this plays out through you so you have the power to change it. Then you want to embody the power archetypes. Now this is very subjective. So a lot of my students are saying, what are the archetypes for the chakras? Well, the archetype is very subjective to the client's experience. So through a process we call set, we get the client to name their own archetype because it's so different for everybody based on their set of experiences. But when I've kind of channeled, tuned in, whatever you want to call it, I've tuned into the energy of the Emperor and Empress archetype. So again, there's a visualization technique for this. But think about the archetype you've just written in your story. Now ask yourself, if you were to rewrite that story so it became empowering and was in alignment to your highest good, your destiny, what archetype would you need to become? What archetype would you need to embody? Now you can choose your own, it can be the Queen, it can be whatever, it could be a name, Heidi, whatever, just it's the energy that you want to embody. Now I want you to write your last chapter. So thinking about everything, all your desires, everything you want to achieve, think big. And if you think you're thinking big, think bigger. And write down how you've achieved it through the eyes of your new power archetype. It could be the Emperor and Empress. It could be something else that suits you. But rewrite your last chapter. Think about this, if you knew you weren't going to be on the planet tomorrow, what's been your legacy? What have you managed to create and fulfill on this earth through the empowerment of your power archetype? Then you need to make a commitment, an interpersonal promise to become that power archetype. Not just, write it down and forget about it. The only way to move your life forward is to consciously take action towards the change that you want to see. Be the change, that's the saying. You have to be the change. If you don't put the effort in, then you won't see any results at all. If you put the effort into embodying the person that you want to become, then you will definitely see change, because you're creating anyway. Probably gone on about this so many times in different videos. You are a creation of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So if that's not working for you, and if you think it's the root, the sacral, the solar, whichever one, then you need to tune in and you need to figure out what archetype is playing through you. Think about your deepest, most severe emotional wounds that have caused that imbalance. You know what they are because they're there, they're playing out through you, through an archetypal energy. Bring awareness, name it, and rewrite the story. Rewrite the story and embody the power of the helpful, empowered archetype that's going to help you achieve your goals. Any questions, please let me know. And if not, I will see you soon. Take care for now, guys.